But it all starts here with wokeness. I say it's killing the world. And there are some new kings and queens of wokeness that are self-appointed. And one of them, of course, is Meghan Markle, who couldn't be a real princess, so she's become the princess of cancel culture. And she's come out with the latest message to the slaves of social media.
There will always be negative voices. And sometimes those voices can appear to be outsized, and sometimes they can appear to be painfully loud, but you can and will use your own voice to drown out that noise. Because that's what it is. It is just noise. Another thing about those lawmakers and leaders and executives I mentioned earlier. Now, many of them, better or worse, they don't listen until they have to. Because the status quo is easy to excuse and it's hard to break. But it will pull tightest right before snapping.
Wow, so according to Her Highness of Wokeville, everyone with life experience and the wisdom that it brings is apparently just noisy. But if you're part of the Twitterati and the TikTokers, you're apparently the voice of truth. I regret to say the man who's now her husband is singing from the same songbook, decrying the institutional racism endemic in society.
My wife said recently that our generation and the ones before us haven't done enough to right the wrongs of the past. I too am sorry. Sorry that we haven't got the world to the place that you deserve it to be. Institutional racism has no place in our societies, yet it is still endemic.
Well, Liz Storer, Harry says he's sorry. I'm sorry that the world's lost a decent bloke and he's been replaced with this version of Mr Markle. What is, where do you sit with all of this PC wokeness?
Oh, look, it's a sad state of affairs, Cory. It really is. Here's Meghan Markle, like you say, the new queen of woke. And to think that they cast off a brilliant institution in order to take on this mantle of just lefty wokeism, becoming the new lefty pin-up model couple. But here's Meghan Markle addressing young women from the school that she graduated at, not telling them to pursue worthwhile careers and become contributing members to society. Oh, no. If you watch the entire video, it's actually much worse than the clips that you showed there. Instead, she's encouraging them to keep rebuilding the world, like the world needs to be rebuilt, like it hasn't been built by brilliant men and women who have gone before. Yes, always room for improvement, but encouraging them first to tear it down. She tips her hat to Black Lives Matter, the very radical Marxist group currently savaging her own country. She tells them to fight for gender, just gender, not even gender equality, just gender, and this whole climate change farce. Three things, those three things she tells them to fight for and continue to rebuild the world around. This is what the left does. They're hoodwinking the entire younger generation, and we saw it summed up beautifully by Harry there, apologising that this isn't the world that you deserve and it's our fault and we're sorry. What utter rubbish. We are raising entire generations now who feel badly done by and like they've got to rebuild this world that the generations before who fought wars, and you've got everything from the clothes on your back to thank them for. You've now got to deconstruct this and you've been so badly done by and it's just a mess. Please fix it.
And here's the thing, there is two of the most privileged people in the world today. They're living in a multi-million-dollar mansion at someone else's expense. One's from the royal family, had everything dished up. Meghan Markle's been an actress, which is the aspiration, B grade or C grade, but nonetheless, she got into some version of Hollywood. You know, they're parlaying their profile into million-dollar speeches. Now, James McGrath, I'm not sure that you're a constitutional monarchist quite like me, but isn't the monarchy much better off with these people out of it so they can pursue wokeness rather than compromise an esteemed institution that has so many generations, for so many generations, upheld decency?
Totally. It's very sad what's happened to Harry. think everybody loves Harry, but he's just on this journey. And with Meghan Markle, you've got someone who was a third-rate actress who's becoming a second-rate princess. And I think it's good that they are over in America. They should stay over in America, and they can continue to give out their lectures and live their lives of hypocrisy. And let's focus on those royals who are doing the serious work, like Princess Anne and like Prince Charles and Prince William, in terms of the real work they're doing to defend the values of Queen Elizabeth II.
Yeah, maybe, just maybe they'll take the pledge and say that if Donald Trump wins the next election, they're going to move to Canada or to Equatorial Guinea or somewhere like that, and won't follow through like all the other Hollywood symbolises. Raf Ciccone, I don't know where you are in their constitutional monarchy either, but do you think Harry and Meghan are trying to exploit their previous positions simply for their own ends, or do they have a genuine cause to change the world?
Look, certainly I think they're using the position of the royal family to some degree, and I think even with Meghan Markle as well, using her position, being an actor, whether she be an A-grade actor or B-grade actor, I'll let others decide on that point.
Or
but
Z-grade.
it's certainly, well, and it is interesting to see, I guess, the generation that you talk about, Cory. I mean, I still remember when I went to uni as well too, I didn't have, at my fingertips, all these things like iPhones and iPads and laptops. We did things still by pen and paper, and that was about 20 years ago. Now you look at a generation where, quite frankly, it is just amazing to see that at the tip of their fingers, they can access all this information, and yet still a lot of people today struggle with more information at their fingertips. And it is quite concerning, I think, about where we are heading as a nation, but also just globally in terms of our education standards long term as well. And I think governments on both sides of politics really do need to have a good hard look at where we are heading.